What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Doorpreneur podcast. I am your host, Tony LeBlanc, and today we're talking about the last part of the Doorpreneur code, and I've saved the best for last, and that has to do with simplicity mindset. So how do we take a simple approach to the different things that we do in the world of property management? The list can be pretty long. So I'm going to focus it on three areas that have helped us the most over the years and really tie back very nicely into that simplicity mindset, right? The first one has to do with systematize and document everything that you possibly can. I know that there's one big thing, if I could go back in my management history as in terms of when I started ground floor in my management company, I know that would be one of the spots that I would probably invest a lot more time. That's creating the proper systems, documenting different procedures, documenting different things for the office, and kind of like a better overall tracking system of everything. I know, even to this day, we still kind of run into situations to where I think, and it's like, oh man, I wish I would have taken the time to do that when I was in that place or I was experiencing that pain point at that specific time. And the one that comes to mind pretty much right away is hiring new staff. It's like every time I come into a position where either I got to hire a new property manager, I got to hire a new cleaner or an office staff, having a written set of procedures and a very clear list of roles and responsibilities that they are responsible for it's simplistic in nature. However, there's a lot of small business people out there that kind of forget to do those little things. And I'm guilty as that as well, right? When I first started ground floor, we were so busy building the business, and that's what I absolutely love to do. So that's where I spent most of my time. And I think as entrepreneurs, I think for the most part, that is where most people, that's where their focus is, depending on the entrepreneurial type of person you are. Now, I've talked a lot about it in other forums in terms of the different types of entrepreneurs that I see. I'm a big fan of the E-Myth. So he talks about the technician, the entrepreneur, and the manager. So three different kinds. I am, without a doubt, the entrepreneur. My partner is the technician, and kind of the both of us have some aspects of managers within us. So, we do quite well as a partnership. But being able to go back and really systematize a lot of the stuff since from day one would have probably helped us a lot and avoided a lot of different problems that I've faced throughout the years. And issues that I'm still facing today. I still find things that I'm like, how do we do that? Or who's responsible for that? And these things still do come up. So if you want to make your life a lot easier, go out there and practice systematizing and documenting everything that you can. And if you want to get, super fancy, even, go to the extent of building out, great flowcharts. So workflow charts. If you've been following me for a while, you may have noticed that I've been starting a lot of new discussions and I'm doing a lot of training on a piece of software called Monday.com. It has been a game changer for my management company in almost every way that I could possibly imagine. And what this is doing is it's forcing us to go back and to review a lot of the systems that we have in place. And now we're going through and we're designing these workflows in terms of how everything works, how things integrate with each other, and it just enables us to see something from a visual perspective, which is incredibly helpful for entrepreneurs like me. So the second thing in terms of the simplicity mindset is automation. Automation. So everything that we do, people are surprised about this industry in property management. It's actually it's a type of business that every month the same thing happens over and over again, right? We go through the same procedures. We go through, the rents get paid. We go into different types of collections. We have move-ins and move-outs. We have apartment turnovers to take over, cleaning to be able to do, all the different accounting, the payouts, cash flows to our owners, reporting to our owners. The list goes on and on and on of the things. So our business is actually very predictable in terms of what's going to happen. So the beauty part of that is the ability to be able to add automations to help with a lot of the, let's say, monotonous administrative type stuff that we could be giving others to do. Perfect example of that is VAs. So virtual assistants are fantastic for being able to take over simple administration type tasks that you really don't want to have your admin staff at your office, where they're a lot higher earners and a lot more important. You want to be able to put them in front of people. So what we've done over the last little while is we're looking at all these different opportunities to take these administrative type tasks that we can automate through technology. Now, I'm a huge believer in automation, but I'm not a believer in taking automation to make a service worse by removing the human element, right? You always got to keep that into perspective, depending on what you're doing. Some great automation things to do are follow-up emails, reminders. We use them for surveys. So every time we do a maintenance work order, we have a survey that goes out to the tenant once the work has been completed. We have automations done as soon as notices come into our office. We send some automations sending the email about, hey, we got your notice. We're just going to check your lease. We're getting back to you. Once the notice is approved, we have another automation that gets sent out, kind of letting them know what the next stages of their move out are going to be, and some reminders. Important things like, hey, your apartment, it needs to be spotless. Here's a list of cleaning items that you're going to be responsible for. And if you don't, here are some repercussions. That email has been amazing in terms of what it's been able to do for us. We also do exit interviews. So when a tenant is fully moved out, we automate another email that gets sent out to them asking them how their experience was with us overall as a management company. And that provides us opportunities to be able to either, create a better experience, to fix some things, and, just to be able to get some sort of visibility on these things. Because a lot of the times, once a tenant has moved out, they're just gone. You just kind of never hear about them again unless they're asking for the deposit, or if you're involved in some sort of claims dispute, which is never fun. A kind of black belt move that we recently accomplished, which is awesome. We have an automation that gets sent out to our tenants to when they, for maintenance orders. So if they give us what we call a happy, classification, meaning that they were happy with the service, I have another automated email that gets sent to them asking them to copy basically what they wrote us as comments, and I give them the link to our Google page to where they can give us a Google review. So it's really all about making it super easy for them to be able to do it, and we've been able to craft this great automated email that gets sent out, and it's been working wonderfully. Last thing about this whole simplicity mindset is about putting the right people in the right seats. So if you're familiar with EOS, the Entrepreneur Operating System, this is probably going to be quite familiar to you. There's a lot of situations with management companies, depending on where they are in size and growth of their company, that there's a lot of the times where you don't necessarily always have the best people in the right seats. And that is typically due to financial constraints, manpower. You just don't have the right people. You don't have the right quantity of people to be able to do everything. And those are some pretty normal growing points when you're building out any business, whether if it's property management or anything like that. We've experienced these issues in our landscaping company. We've experienced these same issues with our snow removal company and many other divisions that we have. So we've put in a lot of work lately in terms of working with this EOS program and really deep diving into putting the right people doing what they should be doing, or putting the right people where they're doing the work that they're best at. That's a huge differentiator right there. Like, there's a lot of people that can do a lot of different things, but are they doing what they're best at? And are they doing what they enjoy? Because those will dictate the level of service that they're being able to provide, and the level of performance that they're bringing to the table, right? So for us, this whole simplicity mindset, our business is complicated enough. I don't want to add any other complexities than required. So everything that we do in terms of our systems, our documentation, our automation, and our people, it needs to be kept super simple, right? Simple because you want it to be, you want to have systems that are easy to onboard, whether if it's a new staff, a new tenant, or a new owner, right? All those different areas where this stuff comes into play. I think it's been, a huge game changer. I'm the kind of guy that, if left in his own little world, I can overcomplicate things. But that's why I have a great partner that kind of pulls me down to reality sometimes. And it's like, hey, slow down, make sure you map out kind of what you want to do and where you're going, and take the extra 5 minutes to do it right, right? Those are words that resonate in my head all the time when I'm having different conversations with Steve, which Steve's my partner. When I'm sending an email to an owner, when I'm sending an email to a tenant or to a prospect or whatever, it's like, draft the email, and like sometimes you just have to pause, and sometimes keep it as a draft for a day before you send it out. You never want to be sending emails when you're angry. Bad idea, especially in the property management world. And I think there's also, to the other extreme as well, is you don't want to send an email where you're incredibly emotional, whether that can be an emotional high or a low, right? Because I've seen myself, I get so excited and I'm so pumped up about something, and I send this massive email, and it's like, I sent that out way too soon. The excitement and the joy kind of overwhelmed me, and now I'm not sure if I can deliver on what I sent out. So, there's kind of two sides of that coin. So you got to be careful. So that's kind of what we're all about with the Doorpreneur mindset, simplicity mindset. Keep things simple. Don't overcomplicate things. Stick with language that everybody can understand. I hear this all the time, when guys are talking about the best type of copywriting. Write it so that a 2-year-old or a 7-year-old can understand, right? It needs to be super simple, super clear, and that's where you're gonna make, some real headway in your business and your operations, your growth. It's gonna affect all the different areas, because at the idea of this code, or this Doorpreneur code, it's all about techniques and ways to be able to run your business, as well as running your own personal life. I don't like complexity in my life. I like things to be fairly simple. I do a lot, very ambitious guy, but I also know my limitations in terms of, okay, it's like, I'm 2 or 3 steps ahead. I know, that at some point I'm gonna have to pull back and make sure that I get these first few things right, and then kind of proceed with the other stuff. So anyways, that's my spiel on the simplicity mindset. I hope you guys got some value out of this. I'd love to hear what you have to say. What is a simplicity mindset for you, and how do you implement it in your business and in your life? Send me an email, tony@doorpreneur.com. Leave a comment on this video, or if you're listening through our podcast, would love to get some comments and some feedback. Anyways, I think that's all I got for you guys today. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.